Hello, my loves. Welcome to Series Theory 3. Today, we're going to be talking about apparitions and manifestation. So, a lot of people, had experiences where, they saw something out of the corner of their eye, or they swear to God, something, with a silhouette figure walked across the room or walked across the doorway. Those are called apparitions. And I have seen many of them. They're pretty awesome. It's definitely scary at first when you see something with your physical eyes, but the more you learn about them, the better it is to basically understand, like, kind of what is going on. Orbs and apparitions are spirits. These spirits pull energy from our 3D plane and whatever dimensional plane that they are currently at. Sometimes they can pull so much energy that we can see them with our physical eyes. Most case scenario, though, is that we could see them over video or photography. The first apparition I seen, I was 15 years old. My room was in the basement at the time, and I swear I saw my brother go downstairs. So I followed through the kitchen. He was, a good 20 feet in front of me. So I followed him down the stairs, and I was the third step to the bottom. And at this point, I didn't see him. Like, I just knew and heard that he'd walked down there. And I seen full on silhouette dash in front of me and then run into the bathroom, and we had tile flooring, so you could just hear the little pitter patter on the floor. And I screamed bloody murder and ran up them stairs, and I'm like, oh heck no. My house is haunted. And at that time it was really scary for me, but now that I think about it, and if I would have had the knowledge then, I probably still would have been a little bit freaked out, but just startled at first. But then I would have known that, okay, this is a spirit and he needs crossed over. Now you're probably wondering why we can't see these all the time. When I was 15, I was just barely acknowledging, my abilities. So the spirit itself manifested so much energy that it appeared. Now, nowadays, I can see a lot more, but in a different way of seeing. I truly believe that the more we open our mind and the more percentage that we use, we can actually physically see more and physically do more. Kind of like superpower stuff. And I know that sounds crazy, but just have you guys ever seen the movie Lucy? I want you guys to watch it. And that's kind of how I truly believe. Like, the more percentage that we use, the more that we can do physically. But our emotions slowly go down when we do that. So right now we use more of our emotions than we do any spiritual or cognitive things with our brain. And a lot of times that can get us in trouble, and a lot of times not. But we definitely rule with our emotions, like I said, instead of our brain. And that's where we get into manifesting. Now, I talked earlier in my earlier series about imagination because that's the best way to describe it. And that, I do not like that term. It just makes it sound like it's pretend, and that's really not what's going on here. When you think about something or when you want something really bad, you're putting that energy out into the universe. And that universe is going to send it back to you. So if you're in a negative state of mind, you're going to get that negative response back. You are manifesting anything that you think. And because we're so emotional, a lot of times we're not getting back what we want because we're holding on to that negative past, that negative trauma. Now, some of us are doing really good and we're manifesting what we want and we're like, yes, 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 let's do it, let's do it. Super proud of you guys. But a lot of us aren't. We have to stop and pause and be like, what do we want in life? And be very specific, because universe is going to send whatever. We think what we want and it's going to come to us with that emotion. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get a promotion, that makes me sad, you're going to stay at that same position at your job feeling that same way. Now, if you change your way of thinking and feeling, so you put on the universe, okay, I want a promotion because I would higher pay and it's going to be easier for me. And you get fired. And you're like, what the heck? That is not what I asked for. But then you have a new job opportunity that has that higher pay, it's easier, and you're happier. Sometimes what we put into the universe isn't exactly how we see it when it comes back. We're like, whoa, whoa, this is different. But they gave you exactly what you asked for. They're like, hey, you want an easier life? You want a happier life? We're going to get rid of this one because it's not serving you, and we're going to give you this one. So anything that kind of looks like, oh my gosh, my world is falling apart, but really it's just a blessing in disguise. And we have to trust the universe. But first, we have to get our emotions and our mind in sync with each other. Retraining your brain is super, super difficult, and I understand that. And what I mean by retraining your brain, I mean not letting yourself go down that rabbit hole of negative thoughts and depression and past trauma. The minute you start thinking those things and you start to feel sad, just stop your brain right then and there. And I know it's hard, and reverse it. Be like, okay, I am where I am today because of what I went through, but I'm not going to let it define me, and I'm not going to let it emotionally hurt me. That's the world you want to manifest. Quit thinking about the past because it's going to create cycles, and you're going to keep going through different situations, but basically the same scenario of how you feel: abandonment, um, anger issues, abuse, all of those things. So we have to stop the cycle. And everyone can you can break that will. Everyone can break it. But it's just up to you if you want to do the work. It's hard, and I understand that, but you can do the work. I have faith in every single one of you, okay? And I did this theory series for a reason. I wanted people to see a different way of thinking. Now, you don't have to do exactly what I say. That's not the point. The point is I want you guys to think for yourselves, and I want you guys to be happy. So, if what I say something sparks in you and maybe you have a better way of doing it, then do it. What by all means, but I just want you guys to be happy. I love you guys so much, and tune in next week. I'm going to leave that next one up to surprise.